গোপী জানা বল্লভ জয় গিরিবরধারী জয় গোপী জানা বল্লভ জয় গিরিবরধারী জয় যশোদানন্দন ব্রজ জনরঞ্জন যশোদানন্দন ব্রজ জনরঞ্জন যমুনা তীর বনচারী যমুনা তীর বনচারী জয় রাধা মাধব জয় কুঞ্জ বিহারী জয় রাধা মাধব জয় কুঞ্জ বিহারী জয় গোপী জানা বল্লভ জয় গিরিবরধারী জয় গোপী জানা বল্লভ জয় গিরিবরধারী জয় যশোদানন্দন ব্রজ জনরঞ্জন যশোদানন্দন ব্রজ জনরঞ্জন যমুনা তীর বনচারী যমুনা তীর বনচারী জয় রাধা মাধব জয় কুঞ্জ বিহারী জয় রাধা মাধব জয় কুঞ্জ বিহারী হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম রাম হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय गौरनिताय 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 जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय 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 जय गौरनिताय जय लड्डू गोपाल लड्डू गोपाल जय लड्डू गोपाल लड्डू गोपाल लड्डू गोपाल लड्डू गोपाल जय लड्डू गोपाल जय प्रभुपाल 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Gurudev, Gurudev. Jaya Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hari Naam Sankirtan ki jai. Sutra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Samved Gaur Bhaktivedanta ki jai. Hari Naam Sankirtan Gaur Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna. So please accept my humble obeisances. Dear Lord Spirit, today we will be reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 2nd chapter, text 1 and 2. So 2 verses will be reading. Sri Narada Uvacha, Sri Narada Uvacha, Bhrataryevam vinihate, Bhrataryevam vinihate, Harina Krodamurtina, Harina Krodamurtina, Hiranakashipu Rajan, Hiranyakashipu Rajan, Paryatapyat Rusasucha, Paryatapyat Rusasucha. Sri Narada Uvacha, Dhatarevam vinihate, Harina Krodamurtina, Hiranyakashipu Rajan, Paryatapyad Rusasucha. Sri Narada Uvacha, Sri Narada Muni said, Vartari, when the brother Hiranyaksha, Evam thus Vinihate was killed, Harina by Hari, Krodamurtina, in the form of the boar, Varaha. Hiranyakashipu, Rajan, O king, Paryatapyat was afflicted, Rusa by anger, Sucha by grief. Translation and purport by His Divineness Sabai Charana Arvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada. Sri Narada Muni said, my dear King Yudhishthira, when Lord Vishnu, in the form of Varaha, the boar, killed Hiranyaksha, Hiranyaksha's brother Hiranyakashipu was extremely angry and began to lament. Purport. Yudhishthira had inquired from Narada Muni why Hiranyakashipu was so envious of his own son Prahlada. Narada Muni began narrating the story by explaining how Hiranyakashipu had become a staunch enemy of Lord Vishnu. We'll go to the next verse. Yeah. So, second verse. Ahachedam rusa purnaha, ahachedam rusa purnaha, sandashta darsana chadaha, sandashta darsana chadaha, Popajaladbhyam chakshurvyam, Popajaladbhyam chakshurvyam, Nirikhan dhumram ammaram, Nirikhan dhumram ammaram, Ahachedam rusa purnaha, Sandashta darsanaha sadaha, Popajaladbhyam chakshurvyam, Nirikhan dhumram ammaram. Aha said, cha and idam, this rusa with anger, purnaha full, sandashta beaten, dasanaha chadaha, whose lips spoke swallowed, blazing with anger, chakshubhyam, with eyes, nirikshan, looking over, dhumbram, smoky, ambaram, the sky. Translation and purport. Filled with rage and biting his lips, Hiranyakashipu gazed at the sky with eyes that blazed in anger, making the whole sky smoky. Thus he began to speak. As usual, the demon is envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and inimical towards him. These are Hiranyakashipu's external bodily features, as he considered how to kill Lord Vishnu and devastate his kingdom, Vaikuntha. Om Ajnanatirandasya Gyananjana Sarakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Samrupa Kadamayham Dadati Sopadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Uda Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamsa Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Saula Raghunathanitam Tam Sajivam Sadaitam Savadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Saurita Simsakhanitam Sa Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pestaya Bhutare Srimade Bhakti Swarupa Damodar Swami Nitinami Ama Sadbhakta Manayi Manipur Udbhavayascha Prabhupada Satabani Prachara Niratayate Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pestaya Bhutare Srimade Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinami Namaste Saraswati Gauravani Pacharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Desatarini Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Tuse Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandhu Jagatpati Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Savanushrute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patidanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Mukhaṁ Karoti Vācālaṁ Pangulam Bhayate Guru Jat Krupatam Hambande Sri Guru Dinatharinam Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Adaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So we are discussing from Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, text number 1, chapter number 2, text number 1 and 2. So starting with Narada Muni is saying, mind your King Yudhishthira, when Lord Vishnu in the form of Varaha, the boar killed Hiranyakashipu's brother, Hiranyakashipu's brother Hiranyakashipu was extremely angry and began to lament. So, and Prabhupada says, and the purport, that this is the conversation going on between Yudhishthira Maharaj and Narada Muni, where Yudhishthira Maharaj has inquired from Narada Muni why Hiranyakashipu was so envious of his own son, Prahlad. So the demons are not only envious of the devotee, they are also envious of the Lord. So that's what in the next verse it is mentioned, that Filled with rage and biting his lip, Hiranyakashipu gazed at the sky with eyes that blazed in anger, making the whole sky smoking. Thus he began to speak. So what he is going to speak, that will be discussed later on. So here in the purport also Prabhupada mentions that the demon is envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and inimical towards him. So the envy is the greatest hindrance in our progress in bhakti. So this is one of the most demoniac qualities which is prevalent among us. So based on the qualities, one may acquire the position of a demigod, or one may acquire the position of a demon. And Prabhupada says there are always two kinds of men, the devotee and the demon. So that means demons, we may have some conception of certain personalities, but within us, a devotee is there and also a demon is there. So how we are feeding these two personalities within us? So thereby we will be governed. So the envy, we'll discuss a little bit about this. In one of the songs, Sri Narottam Das Thakur says that Kama Krishna Karmarpane Krodho Bhakta Dveshi Jane Lova Sadhu Sangha Hari Katha. So he is saying how we can engage the six enemies, the Sadharikus, in bhakti. So he's saying Kama Krishna Karmarpane. So we can engage the Kama, the lust, in the service of Krishna. Kama Krishna Karmarpane, Krodha Bhakta Dveshi Jane. And anger towards the persons who are inimical towards the devotees. Bhakta Dveshi. So we can become angry, those who are blaspheming the devotees or the Lord. So Krodha can be engaged. So in Upadesamrita also, Prabhupada nicely writes that how Krodha was engaged by Hanumanji or Arjuna for the service of Krishna. So here also same thing is being said, Krodha Bhakta Dveshi Jane. Lova Sadhu Sangha Hari Katha. So one, we should be very greedy to be in association of devotees and to hear Hari Katha among them. So that's why that is the proper use of lova. Moho ishta labdha bine. Moha, or the bewilderment. The bewilderment ishta labdha bine. So when we are not attain our worshipable Lord, we may become bewildered. Why I am not able to get my worshipable Lord? Where is the fault? So we will become bewildered. So that moha can be utilized in this way. So the Mother Krishna Gunagane, Mother, the pride. So when we glorify Krishna, so for Krishna we can become proud of Krishna and also Guru Parampara. For Guru. So we should be proud of our Sri Guru and the Vaishnavas and the Parampara and the Lord. So Mother can be utilized in this way properly. Nijukta Kariva Jatha Tatha. So Jatha Tatha. So accordingly they can be utilized. Okay. So here if you see carefully, that the last thing, that is the envy, that is the mascharya. Kama, krodha, lobha, mada, moha, and mascharya. Mascharya, that is envy, is not being engaged, or so we cannot directly engage in the service of Krishna. We cannot. That means we cannot spiritualize this enemy, this sixth enemy, that is the envy. So we can spiritualize kama, we can spiritualize krodha, we can spiritualize lobha, mada, moha, like that, but we cannot spiritualize the envy. So envy has to be discarded. Envy has to be discarded. It cannot be utilized. So that's why Narottam Das Thakur carefully not including envy in this. So the Srimad Bhagavatam also will be studying here in the 7th canto only, in 15th chapter, there is verse number 22. There it says that with strong determination one should give up lusty desires and anger by repeating the objective of sense gratification, by rejecting the objective of sense gratification. One should give up greed by evaluation of the obstacles of accumulating wealth, and by analyzing the reality, one should abandon fear. So this is how one can engage these things, the kama and all krodha, in the service of the Lord. But nowhere we can find a reference that the envy has been engaged in the service of Krishna. No. But that envy is the very thing for which we are here in this material world. So why Krishna has to enjoy? Why cannot I enjoy separately? Why can't I enjoy independent of Krishna? The misuse of free will is there. So that is envy. So envy cannot be used directly in the service of Krishna. And Srimad Bhagavatam, from the very beginning, if you see, say dharma projita kaitavatra parama nirmat saranam satam vedyam mastamam astravastu sivadam tapatra muranam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamani Krite Kimba Parishwara Sadhya Hridya Buddhyatra Prithiveshu Srishtat Kanat. So dharma projita kaitavatra parama nirmat saranam satam. Parama nirmat sara. That means one has to become completely free from envy. Nirmatsara. So for whom, for them only this Srimad Bhagavatam is there. That means we must become free from envy. Then only we will be able to understand Srimad Bhagavatam, message of Srimad Bhagavatam. Otherwise, Srimad Bhagavatam is not for us. From the very beginning, actually, you see, one side, and so it is, we can see how Srimad Bhagavatam begins. In the beginning only it is stated that one has to become free from envy. One has to become nirmatsara. Okay. Or this Bhagavatam actually kicking out, established the highest truth, kicking out all these conquered religions. So who will enjoy? That these persons who are nirmatsara, they will be able to release this. Okay. So Bhagavad Gita also is starting like that. So you say dharma khetre kuruketre samaveta ajyusava mamaka pandavasya. So mamaka pandavasya. Dhritarashtra is saying mamaka pandava. That means he is saying my sons and sons of Pandu. So here there is envy. Okay. So the envy, the scriptures, it is directly or indirectly it is indicating that we have to come out of, or we have to give up, we have to actually discard this element from us. Then only we will progress in spiritual path. So bhakti actually will not manifest unless we become completely free from envy, because envy and the love of Godhead, prema, they go in together. Prema manifests in the heart when one is completely free from envy. So with envy, we cannot have the love of Godhead. Krishna Prema we cannot achieve. So, as devotees, all of us, we are in the process of loving Krishna. Okay, so we are practicing, we are doing sadhana, we are in the process of loving Krishna. But why? So, while engaging, so if we land up in hating devotees or blaspheming devotees, then we are nowhere. So we are practicing to love Krishna, and in the same time, we may find faults in other devotees, or hate them, or say they are not in our camp, or they do not belong to us, or they do not, so they are not following Guru's instruction like that. So some hatred may generate. So then we are just like doing elephant bathing. We are nowhere there. We are not progressing. So we should understand what is the nature of Krishna Bhakti. It is achievable one who is completely free from envy. So even if we have little grudge or little, we may have some misunderstanding. Misunderstanding. So we can have matbhed, but there should not be manbhed. So I have one opinion, he has another opinion, but we should respect each other's opinion. Okay. But it is not that I have to hate that person. Hatred actually restricts us in our progressive mission of Krishna consciousness. So it will not allow us to go ahead. We'll be there only. So, and so many years, 20 or 30 years we are practicing, but still we are not progressing. So that is envy actually, some form or other, envy is there manifesting in our heart. So it has to go completely, we have to eradicate this element. Krishna actually doesn't like envy. So as Narottama Das Thakur very nicely pointed out, we can engage kama, krodha, lobha, madha, etc. But Mascharya, envy cannot be engaged in Krishna service because Krishna doesn't like that. So in hatred, see, hatred is the gross manifestation of envy. When we are hating somebody, it's a gross manifestation of envy. Actually, as a devotee, we should never hate anybody, even other living entities, even envious living entities, like snakes also. So we have to come to that stage. Vidya vinaya sampannam brahmane gavyasti. Suni chaiva surpagasya pandita samadarshina. So some other stage has to come. And also because, see, with envy, we cannot digest others' progress. We'll burn within ourselves if we see somebody is progressing and I am not progressing. So envy disqualifies us from the path of bhakti. Disqualification, just like in a sport, but there is a mark, okay, and you have to start from that mark. You need not have to. So you have to. You need not have to cross that point. So, but when we practice bhakti with envy, we disqualify ourselves in the path of bhakti. So, in the name of service, we may start rivalry. So we may have certain enmity towards others. So that is coming from envy. Okay. And a little subtle form is non-cooperation. So we are supposed to cooperate. Suppose the leader is there. Suppose we are in a temple or in an ashram or even in the home also. If you are not cooperating with the leader, that means there is subtle form of envy. We are envy. So why I have to follow him? So that mentality is there. So we should keep in mind that, so I'm not the only person loving Krishna. There are many wonderful devotees loving Krishna, and Krishna is equal to them. So we should not be envious of those who are bringing happiness to Krishna. So that means, in the society of devotees, there should not be envy. And we should be totally absent. Okay. We should rather become happy seeing others progress. Others are progressing, we should be very happy. Rather we see, oh, he is progressing, he is getting so much service, he is getting so much attention from the leader, I am not getting so much. So this kind of mentality actually drags us down in our progressive bhakti. So we should be paradukha dukhi. Bhakta is paradukha dukhi. So we should, if somebody is not progressing nicely in his devotional service, we should be compassionate, we should be prayerful, we should pray for him. We should become, actually we should share his sorrow. Rather, sometimes it's okay, he is my competent, so I'm now I'm in a right position. Okay, I can now cross him. Actually, we don't know that how much energy is drained out if the element of envy is present in us. So much energy is gone. That could have been utilized in the service of Krishna. So many nice things, in so many nice ways it could have been utilized, but because of envy, it is drained out. It's just like a leakage. Actually, there are some leakage which they call, which cannot be traced out. So it drains out the content. So this envy actually drains out our spiritual energy, which would have been utilized in progressing. Okay, in due course of time, we will become very dry, nothing is there. So envy is such thing. And from the within will always be burning. And they come say, like envy is just like holding a burning charcoal in our own palm, thinking that I'll be throwing this to the person we envy, over the person to whom we are envying. But in the process, our own hands are burnt. There is nothing happening to him. So we are only getting burnt, but we don't know this. So that is the mistake. That is the great, actually, misfortune. Okay. So basically, there can be two types of envy. One may be a soft envy, another is hard envy. Or you can say that's malicious envy and benign envy. Malicious envy is completely detrimental. That means it tries to drag somebody down. So we don't want him to ride such a height, whatever. So we want somebody pull him down. That is the hard envy or the malicious envy. So other kind of envy, that is subtle, for a soft, we can say soft envy, or is benign envy. It is kind of inspiration, positive inspiration and motivation. Suppose I'm inspired by somebody, I'm positively motivated by somebody, but this is a better, this is getting inspired by somebody is a benign envy. Although sometimes the inspiration and motivation may try to dominate him, that person itself. So then it becomes, it converts to hard. Okay, but in the subtle form or in the soft form, getting positive inspiration and motivation. We see someone who has what we want, and it fixes us on improving ourselves. So that kind of envy, this is kind of envy, but this envy is helpful that in our progress. But that may convert. So it is also, there is danger also associated with that. That we may try in the process of getting inspired. Initially, we will be inspired by somebody, then we will try to cross him. So in that case, it again converts to the gross envy. So that benign envy is more or less a pure thing. It's like okay, so in less pure form, we're trying to surpass, as I told, less pure form. But in the pure form, it is generally genuine inspiration and try to become fan of that person. So then it is pure form, pure envy. So we can start, that can be a starting point for us. We can start from that point. Okay, then gradually we become grateful. Okay. So in a pure form, the motivation would be for self-improvement. So we should be inspired and improve ourselves. Okay, get inspiration, get guidance, and improve ourselves. So that is better question. But if it converts to surpassing, then it becomes impure. As soon as you try to surpass somebody, so that is because every living entity is genuine and Krishna's creation. Okay, we cannot become a ditto of somebody else. We cannot become ditto of somebody else. Krishna has designed so that everybody is unique. Okay, so the pure benign envy is very, very rare. Actually, it is found in pure life. So the gopis, so they are not envying like Radharani. So I am not qualified to speak, but just I heard like she gets pleasure in engaging others in Krishna's service. So that kind of benign envy. So then what is the point? Means how to come out of this? How we can tackle this enmity, this envy? Okay. So there are different ways, but so there are various forms actually. So envy, non-cooperation is there, criticism is there, and so many things are there, trying to surpass there. So and not able to see others' happiness, pleasure, that there. So many things are there. So how will come out of this? Actually, whole spiritual education is for that. So we should actually act upon this. It will not go naturally. It will not go naturally. This is a thing which will not go naturally. We have to act upon it. We have to actually genuinely discard it. Okay. Sometimes it may not manifest because suppose somebody is staying alone. Okay, then it is latent, that envy is latent within heart. As soon as he associates with other devotees and all, so he'll find fault, he'll try envying, all these things will come out. So that's why it is said that we should practice devotional service in association of devotees, so that whatever impurities are there in our heart should come out and we should know who we are. Otherwise, we'll be blind to ourselves and we'll be actually merged in self-glorification, thinking that I am a very nice person because I'm not interacting with other devotees. I don't know. Okay, I'm also not in the family life. In the family also, many things will come out that our all anarthas will not allow us to stay peacefully, happily. So it will actually bang. Then we'll get to know that what are my bad qualities. So that's why devotee association is required. We should stay in the association. Even if there is so much trouble, we should continue staying so that our anarthas will come out. Otherwise, if we stay alone, so we may get adoration from innocent people. He's very, very nice like that. But in the heart, the envy is residing very nicely in the latent, very nicely. So how to get out of this? Best thing is serving the devotees in body and mind, and glorifying genuinely with words. So that's why we have to actually start with Sri Guru. If we completely glorify, okay, at least we have to not be envious to 1%, 100%. That is Sri Guru. We can start from Sri Guru. Okay, then we can expand it to other devotees and like that. So that's why Vande Guru Sri Charana Arvind. So serving the devotees in body and mind, thinking oneself, I am the servant consciousness. Servant consciousness is the Krishna consciousness. So I am the servant of Krishna. That consciousness is actually Krishna consciousness. Genuinely glorifying the devotee, genuinely, not like flattering. It's not flattering, or sometimes out of joke or something. So it's not like that. It should be genuine. We should genuinely glorify certain good qualities. Everybody has got certain good qualities. We have to find out that. And supporting devotees in their seva towards their guru. Okay, whatever. So guru might have instructed somebody else to do something. So we should support. And at the same time, we should continue with our seva. Not that my seva is superior to his seva and let him not do his seva. So it is just like manifestation of gross envy. Okay, and whenever we see devotees, actually we should be so much jubilant in this material world. Devotees are there, so Krishna is personally residing in their heart. So we greet them with so delight. Hare Krishna. Okay, greeting them with great delight. Suppose if two devotees are coming, crossing each other, and then they are not even greeting, not even looking at, that means something wrong, very gross wrong. Okay. What we are doing in the name of devotional service, in the process of loving Krishna, we are hating devotees. Where will we go? We will be nowhere. So another thing is that the difficulty comes among the equal relationships. It is very difficult to operate in equal relationships. If I am thinking somebody is equal to me, I am also a disciple, he is also disabled. Okay, so I am equal to him. So a problem comes in among equals. So we should not think that I am equal to anybody else. Somebody is superior. Okay, in our devotional practice, so we should consider others, everybody else as superior to me. Or if somebody is a junior, so we can consider them as such and be merciful towards them. If somebody is superior, or senior, superior, so we should glorify them. And then we'll be actually we'll be free from fault finding. Otherwise, it's natural, very easy to find faults. Very easy. And as Bhagavad Gita says, we have to see Krishna in everybody's heart. Whenever you see devotee, you should see Krishna. Okay. Then most important remedy is given by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Sikhastakam. Tunanda Pishuni Cheno Torori Pishoisna Aman Nama Dana Kirtanya Sada. One should become the humbler than a straw in the street. Tolerant like that. One should become humble, tolerant, respectful, and not expect respect for oneself. So, if one is envious of other devotees, one should not be humble or tolerant. Because if you are envious, we cannot become humble. Humility and enviousness will not go together. And we cannot give respect. That's why we should give respect. The devotees to be respected. So that's why this is Srimad Kaviraj Goswami says that this verse is the neck bid. This should be a neck bid for the every devotees. Okay. And okay, I think Srila Prabhupada was asked that because he was practicing medicine, so somebody asked, Swamiji, why don't you make a some medicine of which can give Krishna Prema? So Prabhupada says, formula is already ready, so I have to just make it. So that formula is the same thing. So that's the everything actually. If we become envy, we cannot preach also. So we have to, and we see Prabhupada was so clean in his heart that naturally everybody were attracted. Totally free from envy. He was genuinely seeing their progress, not even wanting his benefit. He was not looking for that. And that was communicated. Okay. So I took a lot of time actually. I want to stop here. And sorry, I spoke so many things without my realization. I just collected matter from here and there. Please forgive me, Hare Krishna. If you have any questions or anything to add, please add. I just beg forgiveness from all of you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for this nice class. And yeah, your categorization of envy is very nice. Yeah, if anyone is having any questions regarding today's class, they can raise the hand and ask. Please raise Haripal Prabhu. And thank you for taking the class in short notice.
Thank you for engaging me, actually. Hare Krishna.
Respect Maharaj, please.
Hare Krishna, Dhanavad Maharaj.
Dhanavad Pranam, Prabhuji. Another excellent class from you. Thank you.
No, I just collected matter from here and there, just without realization, I just spoke.
Yeah, this is this envy keeps playing with us. and it causes a lot of disturbance. And as you said, the person who is envious will be the most disturbed of the result. You see this? Can you give some practical means to come out? How do I list out what kind of enviousness I have, and some practical way to be out?
Actually, we can make the list actually. When we see, when we hear somebody's progress, so what is the first feeling comes to us? So whether we are become jubilant, if somebody has done some excellent thing, excellent activity, how do you feel in the first instant? So at the first instant, what do you feel? Whether we are very much happy as if I got, or as if he got and I am nowhere, then comparing mentality comes. So as soon as there is comparing mentality or inferiority complex or superiority complex, both actually the sign of envy. So immediately we should know that something is wrong with you. So like Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that was the general principle prevalent in the Vedic civilization, Vedic time. But in the devotee community also, if we can become Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that is a great achievement. Like some devotees progressing nicely, seeing his progress, how we are feeling? Are we genuinely appreciating and saying, "Oh Prabhu, you have done so," like you see that in case of Srila Prabhupada did such a marvelous job by preaching Krishna consciousness throughout the world, but hardly any of his God brothers appreciated, except Sri Krishnadas, Akinchan Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj, mostly. So he came and he was staying with Prabhupada, genuinely. Others may have appreciated, but within heart there is something that he could do, we could not do. He could do, we could not do. That envy is there, subtle form of envy is there. So that's why other God brothers, they could not come forward to help Prabhupada. So Maharaj, you can add also with my little understanding I just spoke. And I have no adhikar also in the subject. Actually, these verses were very difficult verses actually. So there was nothing. Purport was only two lines. So I could not find anything to speak rather than this.
A real purport we got from your class. Yeah, by mercy of Prabhupada, servants sometimes could be more wonderful. Yeah. So very nice, but any practical steps?
So that's what I told. What is our first reaction? It comes. So from that we can judge that where we are lying in the ladder of getting removed from envy, getting free from envy. And so there's a ladder, the ladder of becoming free from envy. So where we are in the first bar or the last. So it may be that we are in the ladder actually. So we have to find out ourselves by, of course, there are senior Maharaj and devotees, they can speak more on this. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. Yes, we have two more questions. Yes, Mataji, please unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Dhanavad Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Actually, I have not understand one thing.
Your voice, Mataji, can you speak louder? Be louder.
I have not understand one thing. I may be wrong. Like the qualities of lust and ego are present in Krishna. All the qualities we see in the material world are a manifestation from the spiritual world only. So, are these qualities of anger and enviousness present in the spiritual world as well?
No, no.
And what's the difference? Like how do they engage these qualities in the service of the Lord in the spiritual world?
No. In the spiritual world, these are absent. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moda, Moha, Mascharya. These are absent in the spiritual world. Kama is the lusty desire. Lusty desire, that means trying to enjoy separately from Krishna. It's not there. So that means as long as these are there, actually these are in the series. This most easiest thing to give up is Kama. Then next is Krodha. These are in a series actually, layer by layer, layer by layer. So Kama converts to Krodha when it is not fulfilled. Like that is like that. And envy is the last thing actually. So getting rid of this envy means you get rid of all Kama, Krodha, Lobha, everything else. That's just a superset. So envy is the superset of all these anarthas. So, but the smallest set, which is the innermost set, is Kama. So in that stage, it is easy to remove. But when we have developed envy is also there. That means we are having all these anarthas. So these anarthas are not there in the spiritual world. So that means Krishna makes sure that nobody with these anartha goes to the spiritual world. That means we have to be param nirmat saranam satam. That's why in Bhagavatam it says one has to become completely free from envy. That means that indicates that he has to be free from kama, krodha, lobha, mada, which are the subsets of envy or everything else. Totally pure, 100% pure. Not even 99%. Complete 100% pure. Then only will we think of going to the spiritual world. That actually by our endeavor we cannot do. By our endeavor only we can attract the mercy of Sri Guru and Krishna. Seeing that our mercy, our endeavor, one day Guru and Krishna will become merciful, and then by their mercy all of this will go vanquished in one shot, and then we will be there in the spiritual world. But if we don't put our effort to remove them, by our effort we cannot remove. It is not possible. But we can attract the mercy, just like Josda Maya. She was trying a lot to bind Krishna. Seeing our effort, Lord became merciful. Similarly, by our effort, we can just attract the mercy of the Lord. Just like this example given by Prabhupada, like this small bird trying to dry up the ocean by her endeavor, and Garuda becomes pleased, and then she gets back her eggs. So we can only attract the mercy of Sri Guru and Krishna, and one day they will become merciful. Okay, but there is our sadhana has no power to completely eradicate this anarthas. But we can only try. We can try, engage, and one day we can attract their mercy. So in the spiritual world, these are not there. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, brother. Wonderful. Yeah, our Sham Kishore Prabhu is having something. Yes, Sham Prabhu, please.
Hare Krishna, Chandra.
Hare Krishna, Dhanavad Prabhuji.
Dhanavad Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Nice to hear you again. So it was very nice speaking on about envy, how Hiranyakashipu, because of his enviousness, he try to kill the Lord. So my question is on this envy point is that suppose I am a authority and there are some devotees working under me. So suppose there is a case of some incident is there, and I being the authority, I have to give justice to them. So the person who is on the wrong side, the devotee who is on the wrong side, so if I favor him and the devotee is on the right, on the right side, I am unfavorable to him regarding justice. So is the envy the cause of that, or some maybe other reason? Can you please clarify on this?
If I understood your question properly, then only I can answer. So what I understand is, suppose somebody is in the position of authority,
Yeah.
and some servant is doing some mistake or something, and we are correcting. Is it that true? So if it is that, if it is that, then the authority, as authority, one has the right to correct, but without intending harm to one's spiritual progress. So we can do, it may externally look like is envious of me, but in heart, if you are genuinely not harming somebody's spiritual progress or not becoming hindrance in somebody's spiritual progress, then we are not envying. Like Prabhupada is also was chastising, but from within he was genuinely concerned of their spiritual progress. So as soon as that is there, genuine love is there. That means if you have sufficient love, that our chastisement can be digested by that person very easily. Then we deserve the position of our authority. Okay, so authority. So it has also has got certain qualifications, like we have to genuinely love or equally love each and everybody without any bias. Then we are qualified to become the authority. Okay, and we should not become hindrance to somebody's spiritual progress. From within, we should genuinely feel so much compassion for everybody's progress. So that is there too. So it is mostly the intention, not the activity, what I mean to say. Thanks.
The question was regarding two devotees. So I am favoring the person who is on the wrong side, because I have to do justice. But who is on the right side, I'm unfavorable to him. So what is the cause? I'm favoring the wrong person. I'm in favoring the right person. So what is the cause of? What is the reason for that? Is it envy? Means I'm to say, is it the envy is the cause, or why am I supporting the wrong person instead of giving proper justice?
Prabhu, your voice is blurred, I think.
So as far as I understood, like the situation is like this, Prabhu. So authority is there. There are two people in a similar kind of situation. One is doing right and the other is doing wrong. Being the authority, in general or in general conception, we think that or favor has to be given to the person who is on the right side, but this authority is doing favor to the person who is on the wrong side and being harsh to the person who is on the right side. So how we can understand this situation in relation to envy?
Correct, yes.
Yeah. If we are not authority to the authority, we have no right.
We should not even think of how they are doing. Yeah.
Yes, it is their business, so you leave it to Krishna.
Wonderful. Yeah, thank you, Roji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
One thing I want to add.
Yes, yes.
Just say there are like fully devoted devotees, and fully means those who are fully has come to the society, and those devotees are there, those who are staying outside and doing devotion service. So being a full-time devotee, I don't have any other option, no, because I have to stay and continue. So if I am not given, because other grihastha or a working person, he can, no, if the authority is not supporting him, he can do his own thing in his own house. But being in the society, I have to continue in the society and ashram. So that's why how can I carry on? And because without proper justice and how towards my authority, how will I keep good faith and trust if I don't get proper justice? How
Yes,
will I continue my service for the Guru authority?
okay. If a service is given to us as authority, so we have to actually pray intensely for the progress of the subordinates. Actually, that is one of the characteristics of authority. We genuinely prays for their progress. So we have to genuinely pray. Actually, it works actually. I have my personal experience. So some devotees do wrong, then I think that the way they are doing, so then immediately enmity comes, hatred comes. Then, so one day I pray, finding some good qualities, start from some little good thing, what they have done for Krishna, or what is the good in them. So from that small thing, you say to Krishna that Krishna, this devotee is so nice that he is doing this. From one single point we can start and generally pray. So that's why Krishna, you have to be merciful so that he will progress in his spiritual path. So then actually enmity or that enviousness or everything, whatever negativity is there in our heart will vanquish by prayer. The prayer has such an wonderful antidote that it eradicates all the misgivings from our heart. So we have to pray actually. And those who are in position of authority, they have to pray for the subordinates very much. Hare Krishna Prabhu, and any other senior devotee can add to the answers. I just
Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Thank you, Roji. I think it is more than sufficient. Yeah, we can conclude for the day.
yes. So again, begging forgiveness from all of you. Being unqualified in this subject, I had to speak because there was nothing to speak. And I beg your mercy, so please be merciful towards me. And Hare Krishna, Mantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki
Jai.
Haripal Prabhuji ki jai.
Jai.
You are most qualified to speak on enviousness, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you all for joining, and thank you Harpal Prabhu for taking the class. See you all in tomorrow's class at 7:30 a.m. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.